Bull and the Bartender Show, Bulls Radio Lounge, May 19th, 2020. Welcome to the show, your Tuesday night. Got Mark the Bartender in the house, Jazz and their bunkers as well. How you guys doing?
We're here, man.
We got Frank formerly from the BRN. He's going to be calling in tonight as well. We haven't spoke to him in a while. Mark, you remember Frank, don't you?
Fucking Frank. Yeah.
He was, Jazz, if you didn't know, he was the PD for the I.O. for the Bubba Radio Network. And he was, when I did the show over there, he was sort of my boss for that show. And sort of, I guess you could say, Mark's boss as well.
Which is ridiculous. It wasn't my boss.
So we're going to have him on the phone and just sort of chit-chat with him. I haven't talked with him in a while, around 8:30. But other than that, what are you guys drinking tonight?
Elasian, Elasian Contact Haze.
All right. Jazz,
and a shot of whiskey.
Jazz, what you got going over there?
I got the Florida Hibiscus, the classic, and I'm
Nice.
gonna get a little whiskey too going in a minute.
Well, I got the Bacardi bottle up there. I'm drinking a full glass of Bacardi.
Oh, Bacardi party.
Yeah. So getting that rolling on. I had a little pregame going on before I started tonight. So.
Yeah, a little Bacardi white rum and some fucking. What the hell do they mix with that shit?
I usually drink it. The problem that I have is I like it cold, and so I like to put it in the freezer for a couple days. But I didn't have time to do that, so I just sort of mix it with a little bit of Coke. More Bacardi and less Coke.
Well, that's a sugary Jack and Coke, buddy. Here,
Actually, no.
Coke.
Like I was saying, it's more like 90% Bacardi and like 10% Coke.
But what else would you mix with Bacardi?
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mix anything with it, but I usually
Pineapple
put it.
juice.
I put it in the freezer and just drink it straight. Because that's usually how I like sort of drinking my hard liquors, you know?
Mix it with milk.
Milk? Why would you mix it with milk?
Because it's good.
Really? With milk?
Coconut milk?
Oof. I'm not a big mixer, to be honest with you. I'm more of just a straight, let's just have it straight up and just no ice and stuff like that. I never was a big mixer on a drink. That's why I don't like too much for those martinis and stuff like that where they mix all this other stuff and it's only 2% alcohol.
Shit, that ain't a fucking martini.
Well, I'm making it more exaggerated than what it is.
Yeah.
But, that's usually how we roll with this thing.
Like you were having a sex on the beach with all the fucking fruit juice and shit on it.
Yeah, if that's what you're into. I mean, that's cool. But I just like, just a straight up, no ice cold, and just enjoying it as the day goes by or the night goes by, for whatever.
Look at that guy! I remember him.
Which one?
Some man, and Jazz has got it in his living room.
Oh, yeah.
Piece of art.
That was a nice, strong piece of art too.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So, that was very different. I've never seen that piece of art before.
Yeah, I think it's classy.
Is that it was very strong with that shot. So,
whew. Man, I'm fucking sore today still, dude.
Use your back still. Did you get your machine installed? Did you order that?
Yeah, hopefully it'll be here I'm hoping tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay. And so you've got it all ready to go? Like you've got the bottom of that fish tank, out?
Yep. Yep. That's gone. I'm fixing to take that other chair out of there. The
black one?
It's a fucking mess right now, but
all right.
So
So
it'll be back to normal here soon.
I mean, do I need to bring something to replace what we usually put all the bar drinks on?
No, we'll figure out something. I have another table in there that I'm thinking about moving. I just got to get that corner situated so I can get that inversion table in there.
I gotcha. All right. How big is that going to take up a big amount of space, or?
I mean, I imagine it's pretty big. It's big enough to hold my ass horizontally. So.
Okay, and the height is all good too. I mean, you measure that as well. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I have plenty enough in there.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never had one, so I don't know exactly like how
I mean, I'm guessing I'll have plenty enough room in there, like for the height. Like,
okay. Because I mean, that sort of suck if you get on it and you can't even like turn over upside down or something like that. You know?
yeah, really, I'm not trying to get like upside down on it. I'm trying to get like 30 degrees maybe, where my body weight will pull down on my back, kind of thing.
That's one of the things I would like to try because I've never tried one of those in you know what's it called, inversion machines.
Yeah, they're the shit.
Now, do you have the one that sort of had the pressure points on there too?
No, that was like the Harris Teeter one. Them motherfuckers were like $400, dude.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, yeah, but like this one, man, like I already figured out how I can put my heating pad on it, kind of thing, so I can have my heat while I'm like laying there.
Did you go with Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, at least it'll be here quick.
Yeah, man. I did my physical therapy yesterday, and I got to go back tomorrow.
How was that?
I'm going twice a week now, so.
Okay. How's that going for your physical therapy?
It wasn't bad. Yesterday was my first one, man, and you had to sit down and tell him what was wrong, and she like made me walk across the room and then do like some strength tests on my joints. And
now, were you doing like the old school physical therapy, or was it this like sort of all new tech machines?
I mean, she put me on the TENS machine for like 10 minutes with some heating pads, and then just had me do like some old school stretches. But they do have a machine in there. It's an anti-gravity running machine.
Anti-gravity running machine. What does that entail?
Are you floating?
Dude, that's what it looks like, man. I was asking her what the fuck it was, man, and she was like, first of all, it's really expensive, so like you're probably not going to need it. Nice. But it's a treadmill with like a thick skirt that almost looks like a hovercraft skirt all the way around it, with a zipper in the middle of it, and you put on these pants and you zip into this thing, and the whole thing fills with air, and it basically picks you up where you're running with like no weight on yourself.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" She's like, "Yeah, it's pretty hardcore." She's like, "You'll see it like work at some point when you're here. Somebody's gonna get on it, like." But it like fills up full of air and actually picks you up, and like you're running on the treadmill, but like weightless, basically.
Yeah, see, like when I used to do the those type of deals, I went to one that was old school, where it's like if you showed any pain, you would have more stuff to do. You know what I mean? They add more stuff to it. And it was.
Well, they're trying to fucking torture you?
No, it was old school. It was just old school rehab, man. Because it was, instead of having like almost 4 weeks on your knee trying to get better, I was really good on my knee in like almost 2 weeks. So, and that's because a lot of times those rehab places, they have all these high tech stuff and all this really high tech stuff to do. But these guys, I think it was called like Renewer Rehab at the time. I think it's still called there. But these guys would have all the old school stuff like bands and weights and heating pads and cooling pads.
Yeah, they have all that stuff, but then they've got like the machine that you kind of like lay on your back and you like pull down, and it's got the bands and like the whole back and slides and that kind of shit.
They give you a massage too, or?
No, like it was weird though. She was checking my range of motion and was like grabbing my leg, and she's like, "Relax your leg," and I'm like, "I am relaxed." She's like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "Dude, this is as relaxed as I get." Like she's like, "Unstress your muscle," basically, and I'm like, it took all I had to like tell my brain to like, all right, like actually relax your leg and let her like hold it and like bend it. Yeah, how she wants to bend it, basically, like
because they can feel like if you've been tensing up or relaxing and stuff like that.
Yeah, like she was like, "Dude, your knee pops every time it moves." I'm like, "Yeah." Like,
so did they tell you the extent of your injury, or?
It's just all my old shit basically coming all up at kind of like once.
Okay.
Like dislocating my hip in a motorcycle crash. That kind of shit. Landing on my back at fucking decent speeds off the motorcycle, going over the front of the bars. Having roof trusses dropped on my fucking shoulders from on top of roofs and shit. Like roofs. They
It's like when I when I upset the biker community when I said, "Hey, we're going to drive a bike instead of ride a bike."
Yep.
Doesn't really matter. It's still the same thing.
It is, but it's proper terminology.
Have all the biker guys come into my house and jump into my bunker and start beating me up because I used the wrong verbiage.
No, I don't think it'll be that bad.
You don't drive a bike though. A bicycle, you ride it because you're on it.
Yeah, but you guys knew what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Stop
Shit,
busting my balls.
Man, some fucking piece of shit biker hit some little girl, man, last week over there.
Really?
Over there on a park and like kind of by that Wawa, like right after you go into 275.
Yeah.
Like before you get to US 19.
Was that the one where you left like one of the side panels on the road or something like that?
Yeah, man. And I don't know if they found him yet, but like it actually tore off some of his bodywork, man. They were looking for this bike with this black and white bodywork, like.
It was a young girl.
Dude, like a fucking 6-year-old girl was out crossing park in the middle at like 10 o'clock at night, which like sucks that she got hit. But like, why was she out? Like,
but still.
Yeah, I mean,
hit something.
Yeah, like at least if you fucking hit something, go ahead and stop.
Was it on May 15th this happened?
I think so. Yeah, it was like last week sometime.
It was a girl 6 hit by a motorcycle was crossing Gandy Boulevard alone at 10:30 p.m. That's what the news story says. Let's see, a 6-year-old.
It wasn't even his fault either, or whoever hit her.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't. It most likely wasn't even their fault.
Because I heard there was like a green light, so it was, man, he was just like riding basically, and she was like running across the street.
Most likely it wasn't their fault, man. So for them to keep going.
Well, first of all, what is a 6-year-old doing crossing the road, especially Gandy, at
That's why we know it wasn't the person's fault that hit him. Most likely, 9 times out of 10.
Well, it says that the accident happened over there off Gandy where Derby Lane is.
All right.
So I mean that's a pretty,
I mean that's 4-lane, dude.
Yeah.
Why would a kid be crossing that street? Period.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where was the parents in that particular time to say, hey, look, that's not a good idea to cross a road or be out.
Well, shouldn't even be out at 10:30 at night. Like,
that's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, but that sucks. But like, there were all the fucking Tampa Bay Rider Facebook pages and stuff. Were like, hey, if you see this bike or anybody knows this guy's body work, like, turn that piece of shit in, basically.
Yeah, yeah. The Highway Patrol is not naming the girl because of of its interpretation of Marcy's Law, which is designed to protect the crime victims. The crash occurred as a girl crossed Gandy from an apartment complex. After the crash, the westbound motorcyclist left the scene. A piece of the motorcycle broke off, and troopers released a photo that piece Thursday in a news release. With that information, call 813-558-1800 or Crime Stoppers. So it's like a piece of the side panel.
Yeah, it's a piece of the side of the fairing.
It says Bridgestone and has whatever Beta is and AXIO.
Yeah, it's some fake Chinese race body work, basically.
Is that what it is?
But they narrowed it down where it was off of a Kawasaki, like a ZX-10 probably.
Now, this might be a stupid question because, you're a motorcyclist and I'm pretty much not. But don't these panels have VIN numbers on them as well?
No, not on the plastics.
No, they don't. They can't. I thought all panels had some sort of VIN number or something like that.
No, I don't think so. It might have like a manufacturing number or something on it, but
that way they can track it to where it was, put on the bike.
Nah, they're not gonna track that back to my bike, personally. Like,
okay.
If I lost one of mine, unless somebody was like, yeah, that's yellow and black,
Because I know on cars they have VIN numbers or some sort of number on every piece of the part of the car.
Like a stamp number, yeah.
Because like these chop shops where they chop up cars, they can track each, part of the car going through there. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So, I don't know. Maybe they can... I mean, nevertheless, it's still a horrible accident, and it's
somebody's
happening.
riding around without any fairings, and that'll be
Yeah.
pretty easy to see at some point. So.
And I mean, it's you know, it happened on what, Bayshore a couple months ago too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Where like a person was crossing Bayshore and some bike hit another person on the road, or was it a car with a young child, like a baby, right?
I don't know, dude. There's been 2 or 3 of them. Like one of them was a bike, one of them was just cars. Like.
Now, is it just that, you know, bikers are not just paying attention, or is it just the people themselves, or a combination of both?
Nah, it's the people, man. Like, you're paying attention when you're riding. Like, you know, you might look side to side, but you're still, you know, looking forward. But like, people don't. It's one thing to like gauge speed when a car's coming at you, when you see like the 2 headlights, you know, or like the actual car. But it's hard for people to gauge, even if you're just going 35 on Bayshore. Like, it's hard for people to gauge how fast you're going.
Well, I just didn't know if it was just people being dumb and just, you know, not paying attention, or just.
Well, a lot of people on Bayshore are fucking. They just walk out, dude, and just you know, like, man, I think everybody should stop for them and shit.
You know, like
people.
When I used to drive trucks for, you know, Rooms to Go, people in their cars would just be dumb as hell. You know what I mean? And so then, you know, they would sit there and not pay attention to this, you know, 26,000-pound truck, and I can't stop on a dime, you know, and they wonder why I'm the asshole. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to play a double-edged sword between either the pedestrian or the bike itself. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I mean, you got to think, man, probably 99% of those people have fucking earbuds in.
Yeah.
So they can't really hear, and they're kind of in their own little worlds, listening to their music and shit. And like, you know, like motorcycle headlights are bright, but they're small. So,
right. Well, I mean, I was the other day. I was coming down 60 over there where the port is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there was this group of, I don't know what they're called, but it's a group of mopeds, basically.
What?
Yeah, it was a group of mopeds. They were like miniature bikes, and
they're
it was
Groms,
like
man. It was a fucking Grom ride out.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, like the little mini. Yeah, I love those things.
Well, they like
so bad.
when they made their left turn, they like sort of swarmed themselves around these cars and just stopped traffic so they can go in front of all the cars. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's how you're going to get hurt. You know, because I remember that story in New York where the something happened with the bikers and the guy who was driving his SUV, right? And the bikers tried to break into his SUV to beat the guy up, and so he was protecting his family and drove off like GTA style, and I guess hit another biker, and they finally.
I remember that. He ran over a couple people.
What's that?
I remember that. He ran over a couple people.
Yeah, but I can't remember if it was the driver of the SUV's fault or the biker's fault.
They were both kind of being dicks, but then the bikers like surrounded the guy's SUV.
Yeah.
And I say bikers, it was actually all sport bike guys. Like it wasn't like Harley dudes.
And that's the kind of thing that sort of questions, like, you know, why would you sit there and cause an accident or make another accident because you want to swarm other cars to get in front of them? Because they actually stopped another car from moving just to get in front of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do that on rides like it's a fucking, you know, it's like a funeral thing. Like it's like a funeral thing where they'll like stop traffic kind of shit.
But like this one group was wearing, you know, Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, that was the Hawaiian shirt ride.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, another group was wearing a different colored shirt, so that's why I didn't know who they were. I thought it was funny.
All the guys in the Hawaiian shirts were all like on the Groms and stuff, but there was a bunch of people like. I saw some sweet video of dudes wheeling Harleys like all the way down the road, like a straight up like 12 o'clock wheelie. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, there was a bunch of people on that ride. It was like wild out on Sunday, supposedly.
Interesting. All right, let's take a break real quick, and then when we come back, I'm going to get Frank on the phone and see if he's available. And if not, we'll just continue the conversation about bikers and pedestrians.
Yeah, and how Apple's fucking bullshit.
That's right. We had to get into that as well. How Apple and the guy who shot up the naval base over in Jacksonville, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pensacola.
So, right back. Bull and the Bartender Show. Bull's Radio Lounge. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. We gon' go to war, yeah, without failure. Do it for the fam, dog. 10 toes down, dog. Love and the loyalty. That's what we stand for. Alienated by society. All this pressure give me anxiety. Walk slow through the fire. Like who gon' try us? Feeling the world go against us. So we put the world on our shoulders. I torture you. Take my hand through the flame. I torture you. I'm a slave to your games. I wanna chain you up. I wanna tie you down. I'm just a sucker for pain.
I've been at it with my homies, it don't matter, you don't know me. I've been rolling with my team, we the illest on the scene. I've been riding around the city with my squad. I've been riding around the city with my squad. We just posted getting crazy, living like this is so amazing. Hold up, take a step back when we roll up, cause I know what. We've been loyal, we've been fan, we the ones you're trusting. Won't hesitate to go straight to your head like a concussion. I know I've been busting, no discussion for my family. No hesitation through my scope, I see my enemy like, what's up, hold up, we finna reload up. Yes, I reload up, I know what up, I know what up.
I torture you. Take my hand through the flame. I torture you. I'm a slave to your games. I wanna change.
got to come out. I felt so good. Went on boogie just the same. Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down off of your feet.
Bulls Radio Lounge. Bull and the Bartender Show on your Tuesday night, May 19th. Give us a call, 813-419-3602 if you want to call in. We're waiting on Frank to call in. I gave him the number to call in, so hopefully he calls in. Just kind of chit-chat, see how things are going. How's he been through all this time? Formerly the PD for the Bubba Radio Network. Nice guy. Love the guy. So hopefully he calls in tonight. Don't forget, we got a new show rolling out May 31st. It's going to have Belly. He's going to be the host of the show. It's going to be called Gut Check with Belly live. That's going to be rolling out on May 31st. All things political, newsworthy, and everything in between. So if you want to listen to that, just give us a like, a subscribe, hit that notification button so that way when we do live shows like tonight, you guys know what's going on.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
Jazz and Mark the Bartender live via Skype in their bunkers as I'm 25 feet down in mine.
It's comfy in the bunker sometimes, man.
What's that?
It's comfy in the bunker sometimes.
It is comfy in the bunker. We have people in the chat, Buddy B, Yo Mark.
Oh, my buddy Bussy. Hey, dude.
Listening to you guys while I'm running. Is that what it's running?
That motherfucker, dude, you should see this little son of a bitch, man. He's like, I say little, man, because like he's still little to me. But that motherfucker won like Mr. Middle Georgia and shit.
Oh, really?
Dude, he looks like a little Schwarzenegger, man. Like a little fucking redneck Schwarzenegger.
He's all shredded out?
Dude, nah, shredded out. Like, this motherfucker's like, got like them fucking lat muscles to where he's like all like, whoa, like, man.
Does he like wave his arms out like a big sail or something like that?
Dude, he's got like the fucking, when you throw up like your like guns and shit, like he's got the big muscles like under his armpits and like down to his sides. And
is he the guy that goes to like the gym like 4 hours a day?
I think that this little motherfucker lives at the gym, but
does he really?
I saved him from drowning, man. Like back in the day, when he came down here, he wanted to swim out to the sandbar with us, all drunk.
Oh, okay.
And it was before he got all big, dude. He was like zero body fat and like little skinny Georgia kid, and was like, "Help, man! I can't, man!" Like,
yeah, I got you.
Come on, buddy.
So how did that go down? How did you save the guy?
I basically just like floated on my back and was like, "Come here, dude. Grab my foot, man. Like, fucking, I'll pull you out, dude." Like. We were only like 20 foot from the fucking sandbar, but like that's where it's deep. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, like man, I've been drinking like for days straight out there, like we staying at the Bon Air and shit. But.
Would you have it any other way?
No, but I saved little Buddy, man. But Buddy ain't so fucking little now. Like.
He's a big Arnold Schwarzenegger looking motherfucker, right?
Yeah, dude. He might be like Jazz's height, man, but like. I don't know what that bitch can bench and shit, but he's like fucking Hercules, man.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like, funny as fuck, man. Next time I see you, dude, he put up this picture fucking washing his new, he got an R6.
Uh-huh.
And he's washing it with like jeans on and no shirt. And I was like, motherfucker, that looks like a fucking ad for like GNC. Like, you're so big, just like standing there normally and shit, washing your bike like.
This guy is what they used to call gym rats, right?
Oh, dude, like, man, Buddy would have the cheapest Halloween costume every year because I would just paint my torso green, and like I'm the Hulk. Run around in jeans. Dude.
How tall is this guy?
How old is he?
No, how tall is he?
I don't know, man. Fucking Buddy's, man. I mean, everybody's short to me, man, but I want to say he's like close to like Jazz's height.
Well, you're like 8 feet tall. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Everybody's
well,
short to
I mean,
you.
everybody's short to me, man. But like,
Okay.
yeah, he works out a lot, man. But good kid, dude. Up there in fucking bumfuck Georgia, man.
Like one of those, is he out in the country type of thing?
It's kind of the country, man. Like, I mean,
Okay.
there's a town.
There's a town.
There's a town. They
There's
got
a
a
town.
Walmart. And,
Everybody has a Walmart.
well, I mean, you know, but they got a Walmart. Like,
I don't know. I went to a McDonald's one time in South Carolina to get like some breakfast. We were traveling up to go see my dad, and I asked the girl at the counter, "Do you have an ATM?" Thinking that they have an ATM, right? And she responds, "What's an ATM?"
ass to mouth.
And I'm like, "Really? You don't know what ATM is?" It's like, "No, I don't know what that is."
McDonald's.
Yeah, and I'm like, "It's a." Let me put it to you.
Didn't have any windows, man. It was weird.
Let me put it to you kindly. It's a giant adding machine, okay? And then she's like, "No, we ain't got none of one of those." And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? But you'll take my ATM card? That's nice."
Well, they got the machine, but they don't have the shit to give you cash. I get that.
Well, I think back then it was one of those ones that you roll across the thing, you know, the old school ones. But but yeah, she looked at me with a straight face and said, "I have no idea what an ATM machine is."
I love going to the country, dude.
It's like, wow. But
I love that shit.
so yeah, just waiting on Frank to call in. I don't know if I should call him or maybe we should call or wait for him to call in. What do you think?
I think we should just wait for him because that's
wait
just
for
the
him?
typical fucking Frank thing.
The old school Frank?
Yeah, imagine that. Waiting on Frank.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the guy. Frank was an awesome, you know, when he was doing his job, and he still is a good guy. Don't get me wrong.
He's a funny ass
Yeah.
motherfucker. He's just on Cuban time. Like,
That old Cuban time. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so we're waiting on Frank to call in, just to kind of chit chat with him and talk with him, and then go on from there. So yeah, so I think next week we're gonna have, like I said, Ben DeWitt on. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but he was formerly from HOS at Busch Gardens. So good guy, love the guy. Had him on the show that I used to do a lot. In fact, there's a whole another story that goes along with of how I met the guy. But you know, a great guy. His creative talent is really exquisite to perfection. Like he knows exactly what to do and exactly how to put things together to make the thing that what he does work. And it's very hard to do that in an entertainment industry, to make sure everybody's on board. So you know, hopefully we can get him on next week, and then we can have him on and just kind of chat with him like guys. You know what I mean?
I haven't been to Busch Gardens, dude, since I think I don't know, man.
We haven't been to any theme park in the millennia.
Yeah, I haven't been to any theme park since like the 90s probably, but
yeah, I mean, because
like,
now they want to have everybody wear a face mask.
We don't need you to start on this shit.
No. I was just making a point.
I'm fucking with you.
I'm just making a point.
Yeah, they should wear face masks, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, listen, I regardless of what you think, I really don't care about the whole subject, but I don't like wearing face masks because it just makes me hotter than what I actually am. You know what I mean?
you need one of my fucking fishing socks, dude.
I would probably try that. I mean, but to walk around a theme park at 90 degrees wearing a face mask, that's pushing it. You know what I mean?
I could do it all day long with a fucking fishing sock.
I do it all the time, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
See, Jazz, what you do is a little bit different because you're dealing with allergies and stuff like that.
Just being outside with my face covered, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like wearing the fishing socks, man. Those are they're like breathable, but you're still covered.
Is that like silk or what is that?
It's like a spandex, like
okay,
some kind of material, but like if you fucking double it up, then it's like real thick, but it's still breathable. Like
is it tied around your head or your face or?
No, it's like a stretchy thing that like goes around your neck, and you just kind of pull it up to like your like eye level, basically, where it goes over your nose and mouth and ears.
Okay. Yeah, because I have one of those like sort of silky type, cool type things that I bought at Home Depot, right?
Yeah.
And it works pretty well. I mean, you could wet this thing and sort of keeps you cool, and you can wear it in 2 different type of thing to, different fashions and ways and stuff like that. So, I don't know, just in general, just wearing a mask at a theme park is just, personally, it just sort of makes it a little bit harder than what you really want to be, especially if you're like drinking all day or you're eating
I'm just not going to a theme park in the fucking anytime that ain't winter time for one.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I could agree with that. I mean, but see, I don't know. I like going to Universal, even during the summertime. I don't know. There's something about Universal that
fucking
I like.
hot, dude. And it's in Orlando. Like Orlando is just like hot. Like
that is true. Orlando
anyway,
is really hot. It's.
I was there not that long ago.
What did you do over there?
I went to Universal a couple months ago.
Did you? How did you like it?
I like Universal. I don't mind amusement parks.
Okay.
But I'm cool and it's not that serious though right now. Like
yeah,
I don't need to go if I gotta wear a mask. Like,
no.
I'm not gonna complain about it, but I don't need to go. I'm good.
Now, Jazz, are you gonna go to Halloween Horror Nights or?
I don't never go to Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, you never go?
Nah, I've been before, but that's not my thing either.
That's not your thing either?
Nah.
Ah, man, I'm a Halloween Horror Nights nut. I go every year. It's a great experience.
Yeah. I don't get scared, so it's pointless.
I mean, for me, it's very rare that one of those guys scare me. You know what I mean? I have been scared once before, but I just like looking at the production value. I like looking at how they build the props and how they build the sets and stuff like that. That's what I get out of it. But
it's like an Alice Cooper concert if you just think about it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of kind of like that. I mean, they sort of put a little rock and roll inside a lot of these things.
But yeah, I don't really care for motherfuckers trying to jump out at me and that kind of shit.
I'm not in there. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's not fun to me.
Yeah, like I'm gonna throw my setup every time, and somebody's probably gonna get hit. Like
I'm on, there's no need. I'm on edge the whole time. I'm not relaxed.
Wow.
I'm looking for something to come at me. Like I'm not. I don't enjoy that.
I'm
not paying to have somebody fucking chase me around. Like,
that's just my personality. I'm good on it. I mean, I've been, and I laughed more than anything.
Really? Richie's wife, man, she works there, dude, and gets dressed up every year, all like crazy faced and.
Does she wears makeup to the event?
No, she
works there.
She's like one of the scare people
at Universal.
Huh?
At Universal?
All right, no, at Busch Gardens.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I was an actor there for 2 years. I did that for 2 years. I don't see how they casted me, but I got casted for 2 years for 2 different houses.
Yeah.
And then I had an eye accident that happened over there too, so that was fun.
I almost lost an eye in the Halloween horror.
Yeah.
Arrgh.
Well, it was my second shift, the first time doing it, and one of the latches caught the my eye. Actually went into my eye, to be honest with you. And did you guys heard this story, didn't you?
I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. The latch. The latch. Well, I mean, I know I wasn't freaked out. The stage manager was freaked out. I was cool as a cucumber, but the latch went all the way into my eye socket and it sort of lacerated my eyelid. I had to have cosmetic surgery to fix it.
Look how pretty you are now, too.
I'm much uglier than I once was before. So
you're telling me you had cosmetic surgery, dude?
I had to go to a plastic surgeon for them to stitch it back up because they had to cut the eyelid and remove all the scar tissue and then restitch it back up.
Bro, you should have left it. You look tough.
I would have. I wanted to, but they told me no because the 2 eyelids have to seal together or they'll get dirt. Because it was like the upper lid had sort of like a clamshell. You know what I mean?
You had a clam eye.
Yeah. I was cool with it. I'm like, let it roll, But
sure.
but apparently the doctors didn't see it that way. So I had to I saw like 5 or 6 different eye doctors. And the problem that I had was that every one of them asked the same exact question every single time. you know, and I'm like,
what the fuck were you doing with a hinge in your eye?
no, they're like, well, could you see this? Could you see that? Yeah. And what the hell were you doing with a hinge in your eye? Well, it wasn't by choice, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and inevitably, after it happened, I looked like I got into an MMA fight because my eye was like black and blue. So I wore sunglasses for about 3 weeks.
Sweet.
But then that next night when I went back to work, Joe Winecoop was actually there, and I was having lunch with him, and Joel introduced me to Ben DeWitt and sort of told the story about what happened, you know. So yeah, so that's what happened with my eye. So 10 stitches down the front facing of my eye, and then 5 stitches on the side of my eye, just to repair it. So let me see. Frank said he just called, so let me see if I can call him back. Let's see that one. I think it's this
He
one.
ain't calling.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get him on the phone.
Did he say he just called for real, or is that just bullshit?
No, he said he just called for rear, but I was sort of in the middle of a monologue, if you will. So
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Let me see if I can get him on the phone.
Are they gonna race tonight?
I don't know. They were saying that they're gonna postpone it until tomorrow because I know it was raining up there.
Let's see. I'm calling. Hopefully, it's the right number. I don't know.
Hello.
Frank,
Hey, what's up?
what's going on, man? How you doing? You're live on Bull and the Bartender Show.
Holy Jesus! All right, I'm live. Fuck
You are live. How are you, my friend? How's it been?
Good, man.
Yeah.
How's everything going with you?
You still sound tired as fuck.
I still sound tight. Like
Tired.
Like,
You still sound tired as fuck.
oh, it's because I am. I'm always tired.
That is true. You've always been tired.
Or maybe I'm just a little bit stoned.
We have.
Vape fans, man.
Can you hear? We have Mark the bartender on the phone, and also Jazz as well. They're the co-host of the Bull and the Bartender
What's up,
Show.
Frank?
Okay. Are they like talking right now? I haven't heard either one of them.
What's
Yeah.
up, Frank?
What's going on?
Can you not hear them?
I cannot hear anyone else but you.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Yeah, that's on this bullshit, dude. Hey, they're pulling like 1985 Darlington right now,
Pretty
dude.
much stayed the same. Is what
Oh,
I remember.
man.
It's good to know some things never change.
I don't know this whole technology thing. This whole thing with a. God damn it!
1 for 2.
Yep.
I
Oh,
watched last week's thing, by the way.
oh, did you? What did you think about it?
On the YouTubes there.
On the
You
YouTubes?
know, it was interesting.
Yeah, I could. I don't know. I can't remember how many shows we've done, or I think it's like we're on season 6 or something like that. So.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. So.
How many shows are in a season?
12.
God damn.
Yeah. So we've taken a break during like Christmas holidays and stuff like that, and New Year's. But we Mark and I sort of got together after the BRN, and we just sort of, after about 3 or 4 months, we got together and we just started putting together a show, and then we sort of built all this stuff up from the ground up, and just going on from there and seeing how it goes. And it's been going pretty well, except for now when the whole goddamn thing shuts down on me. You know what I mean?
It's all your fault, Bull.
I don't know, Bull. It sounded like in that last one, like this, there were some technical issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
at the beginning there, like it took some time to get people's mics on and whatnot. And I like the intro, by the way. Like this, it reminded me of an old. It reminded me of watching like SNL back in the day. It was like
oh, you like that, huh?
Old school Saturday Night Live intro.
Yeah.
A little long-winded, but it was good, man. It was I gotta say, there's the production value was there for sure.
Well, thank you. I
on the
appreciate
video
that.
edits and whatnot.
Thank you. I
Yeah, let's
appreciate it.
critique us, dude.
No problem.
So, how you been?
I didn't like the video. I've been good.
Okay.
I was gonna say I didn't like the video running in the background though. Like once you guys started the show, it was distracting.
Oh, really? Which one was that? The one that's on that's on the show, or?
It looked like a promo for like a fucking bar or something, dude. Like it was showing a bunch of like shots of like going through a bar and like the bar area
It's the
and
bar
like all this
footage.
stuff. It looked like a video
Oh,
that you'd see in like a hotel lobby.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a couple
Which wasn't
different.
bad.
Right.
It was just distracting. It was sort of just like I found myself watching the video and not so much focusing on like the show that you guys were doing.
Well,
But
I
then
mean,
you switched it to like this still in the background, so like
well, the still is
that made
actually
better.
a live shot of what I have set up and sort of my 25-foot bunker, and we actually broadcast live from Mark's the bartender's bar, but because of all this thing that's going on right now, we're sort of in the midst of doing from the bunkers and stuff like that, and we have sometimes the technology works and sometimes it doesn't, and so we're trying to figure out what goes on and what hamsters are working and what hamsters don't work. And I'm trying to keep them fed, but they keep on fucking shutting down on me.
I mean, do you test any of this shit?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Kind of like rehearsal or anything?
Yeah.
Ahead of time, or
I mean, you know how this stuff goes. It works one day, and then it doesn't work the next.
Yeah, but we would generally especially when we did Skype and stuff, like remote type of things. We would before the show got going, we would test.
Yeah, and that's
like if we were doing this professionally, like I would have called you before the show even started, and we would have had Mark and what's the other guy's name?
Jazz.
We would have had Mark and Jazz on on their mics, and we would have all had a little quick test conversation to make sure everybody could hear everybody, and then
and that's what we do.
We'd have said, okay, I'll talk to you in 15 minutes, and we'd all hung up, and then we'd have done it for real.
Right, and that's what we do. We get all that stuff. These guys sign in about 15 minutes before the show starts, and I usually have everything prepped and ready to go. And then sometimes something fails, and it doesn't end. You know what I mean? So, we're building.
Bull, you can hear us, but he can't hear us.
Yeah, but see, last time when we had a guest on the phone, you guys could hear him just as much as I could. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the hell is going on.
Well, tell Frank I said hello, man.
Well, Mark says hello, and he misses you.
What's going on, Mark?
He says, "What's going on?"
I hope Mark and all his people are okay. I hope Jazz is good. I hope everybody's in good health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody's got any family or anything like that that's been affected. Everybody's been good.
Everybody's been good, man. It's been a good run so far. How you been doing though? What's been life with you?
Just same shit, different day, man.
We're still gonna continue this.
Still doing like electrical work, putting lights up, fixing things. Same thing I was doing when I first left the studio there.
All right.
It's been steady.
That's good, man. I'm glad that you found something to compensate for the studio lack of studio time, I guess.
That's a weird
I mean, well, I don't know. I didn't really. It was a fun job, right?
Yeah.
Like while it lasted, it was basically shit that I got paid for. That it wasn't really work so much. So
was it?
It was almost like a paid vacation.
Right.
But at the same time, I wasn't. I don't have to tell you that the pay there was like not.
That is true.
Great. Especially like once shit started to get bad. So
yeah.
At some point, like the paid vacation was a sort of semi-paid vacation. And,
well,
it doesn't work out in the long term anyway. So things are better now.
And I think at the time, like when you were doing it, I know you would tell me that when you go on vacation, like on a cruise or something like that, you had to pay the extra $200 to run the whole system while you were on vacation.
Oh yeah, I'd still have to do all that stuff on the computer, for sure. Oh, yeah.
I don't see how you do that. That's, you know what I mean? That's, to me, I would be.
Yeah, it was stressful. It was a little more stressful than I would have liked things to have been, like on a especially like being that I'm supposed to be on vacation.
Okay.
But again, the way I looked at it, like it was kind of the cost of doing business. Like if I wanted to have that freedom and have that fun at work for the rest of the year, then for that couple of weeks while I was on vacation, I had to fucking
yeah. And that's cool. I mean, at least the biggest thing, like what I've learned from being at the studio.
Katie Nolan, dude.
Can you hear Mark? Can you hear him now?
I think I hear I hear Mark now.
Yeah, I had to fix it on the fly here. So Mark the bartender
strikes again.
Mark the bartender and Jazz on the phone. We were talking about the old days of the BRN and stuff like that, and the one thing that I've learned when I was working there, a lot of it came from you, just learning from you on the show side of doing my own.
Don't say that.
No, I'm saying like.
Don't admit that shit.
Well, no, because I did learn a lot from Bubba, and I'll admit that. I mean,
don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
But a lot of the programming I learned from you. You know what I mean? Because you did teach me a lot of the stuff like on Next Gen and Sam and stuff like that, and I appreciate that because like coming from USF and then doing all this stuff now is. It's a very different world when you go from like a college radio show to now doing, a very top market, radio show that everything depends on how you talk and how you, promo things and stuff like that. So, what I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, is I do thank you for a lot of the stuff.
What are you saying?
A lot of the stuff that I learned from you. You know what I mean?
Well, that was very eloquent, Soul.
Well, I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. And so it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a fun gig while it lasted, and hopefully you guys can do something, here and eventually, maybe monetize it in some way, and be able to do that.
And that's the plan. The plan is to, when we decided to do this, we're just going to do it for fun. You know what I mean, and just enjoy it and enjoy the production value.
That's how it has to be.
And then later on, we're going to start getting, more things. I have things in the works. As you can see on the channel, I had different shows running at different times. So, we're just trying to get everything up and running and ready, and showing that we can do this, and we have listeners. I mean, the people listen to it.
They're actually listening, dude.
Yeah,
is it non-relatives? Because relatives don't count. The people that are not related to you, those are the only ones that you can love it.
But I mean, we've loved to have you on the show as much time as you want. You know what I mean, and just sort of have that extra added Frank value to it as well.
The Frank stank on it.
Maybe once you guys start doing stuff, kind of, I guess, live again.
Well, we are live.
I'd be down for that for sure. No, well, you know what I mean. I mean in person.
Come over to the bar and hang out.
Not like remote.
Oh yeah.
Mean?
Yeah, once we get back in the bar.
I mean, if you want to do that where we could sit down in the same room and actually have a fucking conversation with each other. Is it okay to swear?
Oh yeah. This is we're not governed by the FCC on this one, so.
Okay, good. So like, yeah, dude, when we're able to sit down and like have a face to face, for sure, I'd be up for that. Absolutely. You give me the time and the place.
There you go. Mark, would you be cool with that, to have Frank in the bar?
Yeah, man. Frank can come over and hang out in the bunker.
Once
I get the bar set back up, man, for sure.
They could check out his crazy motorcycles.
Yeah. All his crazy motorcycles.
Yeah.
So anything else you got going on, my man? I mean, it's one of those.
Not really, dude. I mean, especially lately, it's been pretty fucking exceptionally boring. With quarantine, same as everybody else, going to work, going every once in a while to get groceries and food and shit like that. And other
Uh-huh.
than that, staying locked down mostly.
Really? Man, have
Yeah,
you locked yourself down as well, or just sort of have you ventured out, or?
How do you mean?
Well, I mean,
as
like
far as work goes?
well, I
or
mean, like,
just socially?
Yeah, like socially and stuff like that.
Honestly, no, I haven't. I'm assuming that there's not a lot going on socially right now. I mean, is there?
There's no sports on, so there's no reason to go to the bar.
Yeah, I mean, are the bars really jumping? Is there like some sort of crazy Corona parties that I'm missing out on?
No.
The hundreds of people that have parties in the back of their house.
The Hard Rock's
Some
going to
crazy
open
orgies?
like tomorrow, I think.
It opens Thursday.
What was that?
The Hard Rock opens up Thursday.
The Hard Rock opens up on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Somebody's open Thursday?
Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hard Rock opens up on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm staying out of there. Fuck that.
I'm good. They're gonna
Yeah,
have
so there, I
plexiglass.
haven't. I really haven't been doing a lot of like going out for
Yeah.
social purposes. I didn't know how great of a fucking idea that was currently.
No, I understand. I mean, a lot of people are like that, which is understandable. But
I've been to the beach.
Oh, did you?
Maybe a handful of times.
Okay.
But that's like solo dolo. That's not like going out there to.
I never figured you
meet
for a
anybody
beach.
or anything like that.
I never figured you for a beach person.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. You just didn't seem like a beach person to me.
Dude, I was born in Miami. Like I was on Miami Beach like every other weekend.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't.
That was like a family thing. Like that was a cheap thing that my mom could
I was
do
selling
with a
straw hats
kid.
and hanging out in empanadas and shit. I was there, dude.
Yeah, well, not nothing crazy like that. It was just a good, like your mom takes you to the park.
Yeah.
It's like a park nearby, because that's like cheap entertainment.
Right.
To
Okay.
fucking keep your dumb ass running around for a little while. Our park was the beach, because like the beach was like down the road. It wasn't that far
Down
away.
in South Beach.
So she'd get a loaf of Cuban bread and make some sandwich meat, and make a bunch of sandwiches, and we'd spend the day at the beach usually every other weekend or so.
That's very interesting.
I love it.
Wow.
I love the beach.
I did-
Are you not a fan?
I'm not a big fan of the beach, to be honest with you. The only time I go out to the beach is if I have to go, with a client and take some photography shots for the client, but that's about it.
And you're
Are
still wearing
they
jeans,
shooting you, or are
probably.
you shooting them?
What's that?
I said, are they shooting you, or are you shooting them?
I'm shooting them.
Oh, okay. Thank
Yeah.
God for that.
So yeah, I don't want to break a $600 camera. So
I don't want to see you in a bikini.
no. It was bad enough the old crew wanted me getting to a dress. So
Did that ever happen? by the
no,
way?
that never happened at all.
Oh, you still owe them one.
No, I don't listen. I don't owe them anything. So they simultaneously quit, after the whole debacle went down. So
Everybody fucking quit at once, huh?
yeah, everybody fucking quit at once. So it was like once the decree was made to clean out the storage containers, right? They pretty much jumped ship. So except for Bats and Scott. Scott was doing what was he doing? He was getting more into his entertainment stuff, right? And then Bats couldn't get off of work. So I don't know what happened to Clarice, but but yeah, everybody jumped ship once that happened.
Well, that sucks. You ever talk to the Batman anymore?
I've spoken to him.
What was his real name?
Yeah,
Philip, Wade,
Darren.
Wade,
I think it's
something like
Darren.
that?
Yeah.
Darren, there we go.
Yeah, I spoke to him a couple months ago, and he's living in Orlando, and he I guess he got married to the girl that came in that had a book or something like that, and he had a kid now too. So he's living.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, so he's out there in Orlando with her, and they're living happily ever after in Orlando and all that jazz, and doing really well.
Well, that's good. That's fucking good to hear.
Yeah, man. So
Had a happy ending.
yeah, it is. It's. He was. I know he was having a really hard time here in Tampa. So once he got hooked up with her, I think everything just sort of changed gears and shifted and went a little bit better for him. So that was good to hear. But
yeah, I'm happy to hear that. He was always a good dude.
Yeah.
Like, he always struck me as a good guy.
yeah, I mean, I know he always liked you. I think he was really, you guys talked a lot when he was doing the show. So, and then I think Mark came in the picture right after Bats left, and then some other crazy people came in as well, and that was a whole different debacle. But yeah, we still talk to Charlie and Michael as well. We had them on the show, Mark, a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah, 5 months maybe or 2.
Yeah, so they're doing good. They had a kid too, to be honest with you. So
Everybody's popping out babies.
I'm telling you.
You've got a bunch of kids already, don't you?
Well, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I'm glad to fucking hear that, especially with Batman. He was always a good guy.
yeah, he was a good guy. So, but yeah, we'd love to have you in the studio once we get going and once we get back live in the bar, and we can get you on live and not have to deal with all these technical issues.
All right, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
sounds good, man.
All right, my man. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Right, Stevie, it was nice talking to you.
I didn't even see you.
Mark, see you. I look forward to meeting you when I get in there. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, my man. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Bye.
See ya. All right, you guys still there? Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, it was a lot of different issues with that one. It's always when we have callers calling in that it works one day and then it doesn't work the next, and I don't know why.
I mean, it worked with Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's everything works, and then I have to change things up and get things going. So let's do this. Let's take a break real quick, and then we come back.
Quench my thirst.
What's that?
Need to quench my thirst.
Yeah. So when we come back,
I'm gonna smoke a grid. That was fucking stressful.
That was a little stressful on trying to get everything working again.
Hey, buddy, he's asking about stickers, man.
Stickers are in the process of making. I've talked to my digital artist, and that's in the process.
We need to approve these stickers before you just make them.
What's that?
That we need to approve these stickers before
Well,
you make them.
what I need from you guys is I need like an idea or a sketch from you guys too.
Sketch?
Yeah, I need you guys to draw like on a napkin or a piece of paper with a pencil and draw out something.
Drawings?
What's that?
You want my drawings?
I want your drawings. So if I can get that, then I can send them to my digital artist, and my artist can sit there and draw something up, make 3 of them, and that way you guys can see what you guys think, and we all can vote on them.
What do you think about doing like a black bottle with a white label, and then just like within that white label have like the bull's head, basically, for like a sticker, for like a helmet?
I like it.
Like that's kind of we could do that like kind of route for like that.
I found these. These were made by Matt Major.
I can't see these. I don't know what the fuck.
Well, if you're looking on the YouTube channel, if you look on the YouTube channel, right, that you might want to have piped into your computer, that way you can see the live show.
I have it on my phone, man, but I wasn't like watching it. I'm trying to fucking
focus on other things.
Drunk History.
So these were the ones that were made by Matt Major back in the day. It's the old Mike Tyson's Punch Out with the ball bull sticker. If you can see it.
I don't see shit. All I see is your fucking guitar and a bottle of Bacardi.
Well, you have to wait a couple of seconds. There's a delay there, guy. Jesus Christ.
I'm just more mad about the bottle of Bacardi. It looks like we're looking at like a fucking dorm room over there at UT.
Really? You gotta bash the setup that I got because at your bar we had a bottle of fucking Jack Daniels sitting in the middle right there.
I'm just saying we have dark alcohol, not white alcohol.
What else you want me to do, buddy? I mean, come on.
Well, I mean,
I'm doing what I got.
Like fucking
and
Bacardi,
you're still.
That's just funny.
and you're still busting my chops about it. Come on.
Well,
I had to look just to see the big bottle of Bacardi. I see it.
all right, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, we're
man.
back in a minute. Bull and the Bartender Show. Stay tuned for a lot more.
After all, don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human. I do what I can. I'm just a man. I do what I can. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
My, it's a beautiful world. I like swimming in the sea. I like to go out beyond the wide breakers, where a man can still be free, or a woman if you are one. I like swimming in the sea. My, it's a beautiful world. I like drinking Irish tea, with a little bit of lapsang souchong. I like making my own tea. My, it's a beautiful world. I like driving in my car. I roll the top down, sometimes I travel quite far. Drive to the ocean, stare up at the stars. I like driving in my car. All around is anger, automatic guns. It's death in large numbers, no respect for women or our little ones. I tried talking to Jesus, but he just put me on hold. Said he'd been swamped by calls this week and he could not shake his cold. And still this emptiness persists. Perhaps this is as good as it gets. When you've given up the drink and those nasty cigarettes. Now leave the party early, at least with no regrets. I watch the sun as it comes up, I watch it as it sets. Yeah, this is as good as it gets.
power of 1,000 stars, lightning in a mason jar. See it from wherever you are. If your thoughts high up in the mountain tops, I'll leave the light on, and I'll leave the light on. You can come home right now. I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the
Oh, and the Bartender Show, Bulls Radio Lounge. Thank you to Frank for calling in tonight. I appreciate it. Some good times. Can't wait to get him in the studio to kind of, or the bar to try to get him, just to talk to him face to face. Good friend. Love the guy. So can't say any much more about him. Don't forget, May 31st, brand new show, Gut Check with Belly Live, is going to be premiering on May 31st. So don't forget about that. That's going to be a weekly live show, and we'll have a time for you here soon. We're going to talk about politics, news, and everything in between. So that'll be a good starting show as well. Want to thank Jazz and Mark the Bartender for doing the show as well every week, especially from their houses. We talk about some controversial stuff a lot, but I want to thank them as well. Chewy Rocks, thank you so much as well. You give the show a call, 813-419-3602. In about 2 weeks or so, we're going to be back live in the bar with all three of us sitting right there in the bar, enjoying a drink, enjoying some extra flavored shots, and just hanging out like guys do. So don't forget about that. Once we got this,
shit faced, dude.
What's that?
You're gonna get shit faced.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a extra flavored shot. So thank you guys.
You're allowed to.
What's that?
I don't think you're allowed to
You don't think I'm allowed to?
have extra space. Have fucking man.
We'll see. We'll see what
Boilermakers.
happens. Extra Boilermakers.
Yeah.
So we were during the break. We were previewing a listener that emailed the show and turned in his music, right? And I was playing it for the guys, on or during the break. And
Is there another track?
no, I only got one track.
We're doing this?
Well,
No. I feel like we need to find another track and maybe give it another chance off air again.
you think so? I mean, is that your direct opinion?
I mean, I would like to hear what else the dude has, man.
Okay, do you think it'd be okay just to play a sample? Just like a 10-second sample?
Nah.
No?
I mean, it was like the dude you hear playing at like the beach bar on Sunday.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I mean, he did send in a sort of a long dissertation about, his background. And
yeah, sounds like he'd been all over, man. I
Yeah.
mean, bravo. Like,
no, I mean,
I'd like
it's
to
cool.
know if that's a cover song or if that's an original.
I want to say it's a cover, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I thought I recognized the lyrics from
Yeah.
like I can't remember the name of the I remember the song, but I don't remember who did it. Like,
So let me just play just a tidbit of the song, and let's I don't know. I mean, and if you're listening, don't take it personal. It's all jokes. You know what I mean? And if we like it, we like it. If we don't, we don't.
I'm shit-faced drunk, so don't take anything I have seriously.
Yeah, that's kind of how radio goes. So, I'm sure. I mean, this guy's been playing music for a while, I'm assuming. So, hold on.
Don't you feel like trying something new?
And what I want to say is he's playing the guitar and all the other stuff that's in the background.
I mean, that's talented, man, that he's playing all
Yeah.
that. But
You wanna do things I can't do. Always something bringing.
Okay, so there's about 10 seconds now. What?
what is it? What's the name of that song?
It's called. Hold on, where is it at? Cover. It's called a cover of Joe Jacobson.
So that's who it is.
No,
Joe Jacobson?
The guy's name is Seth Alderman. Do you
Hang
have
on,
any-
I'm looking up the song.
Yeah, it's here's the latest single of mine, cover of Joe Jackson.
You're a fucking. I'm looking up Joe Jackson.
That's what
Joe
it says
Jackson?
right here. It says it right here, Joe Jackson.
What does it say, fuckface? Because you already said two different names.
No, I did not, motherfucker. I said the guy who's playing it, his name is Seth Alderman, right? And it says, here is the latest single of mine, cover
Joe
of
Jackson, he's
a
Australian.
Joe Jackson hit.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
You said something else first. I'm looking up the songs now.
God damn it.
You did say something else.
I did not.
You didn't say Joel Jackson first.
Yep. He sure did.
You guys are a
he
bunch
did
of
Stepping
dicks.
Out?
What? What'd you find? Like you knew what it was?
No, this song. No, I know this song, dude. Like, man.
Exclamation point. You know it.
So, I mean, apparently this guy is, did voiceovers at the Strauss Center.
You know I've got crazy, like, fucking music.
Well, you do seem to sort of like
Why wouldn't
pull
you
yourself
finish
back a
the
little bit.
original, though?
That sounds like something from GTA.
The game
Like-
show?
That's like
No,
a GTA soundtrack.
That's the original. It's actually kind of a cool song. Like,
Yeah.
once it gets through, like, the first part. Like,
I mean, this guy has done a lot of stuff.
play it again, Bull.
Hold on.
You and I could never live alone.
It sort of has that sort of
It's
Barry-
the jazzy style, man.
Yeah.
All right, I totally get the song now. Like, man.
jazzy sort of bar type of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a cigar bar. It's a half-speed version of that.
I gotta tell you, it's not bad though. Not bad as what I've heard before.
There's one for us.
So there you go from Seth
Yeah.
Alderman. He's been delighting audiences from all over the world, from Tampa, Florida, New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Chicago, even countries across Europe.
Interesting.
Maybe this guy can create some cool tunes for the show. I don't know, for
Maybe he
free.
can make us some theme music, dude,
Yeah.
because we can't use that.
So, all right. So on the surface, what do you guys think?
I applaud him for his effort.
You applaud him for his effort. That's Mark the Bartender Jazz.
And that's a hard song to cover, like, man.
I mean, I don't know. It's a cover song I never heard of, so
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming this is one of his, biggest songs that he's done. So, I mean,
The song is somebody else's song.
well, I mean, I'm sure he's a musician, so he sort of makes up the instrumentation and stuff like that,
Yeah, this is like his own version. He did like a half speed. This is like a undertow beach bar version.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's not too bad. It's not horrible.
I mean, I've heard worse, dude. But
Yeah.
like, I knew I recognized the song, but it's slow enough where it's kind of weird. Like,
What?
Says Joe Hardy and
How do you know this song?
well, Mark's old too, so
well, you know how I know like crazy songs, man. But I'll play this thing, man. When you, man, like next time y'all are over, I'll play this song and like you'll recognize it from some movie. It's in like, it's like an '80s song. Like,
We'll
I don't know. Maybe we can get some more people
What's the
to.
name of the song?
It's called. It's
Joe
a cover.
Jackson stepping out.
It says cover of Joe Jackson hit. That's what it says in.
Joe?
Joe. Joe. Joe.
Joe Jackson stepping out.
It's very rhythmic too.
The video is straight up like 80s man hilarity, but like it's an 80s song. Like
Yeah, it is an 80s song. I can tell you that. It says his dream is to perform professionally on Broadway in New York City to further his musical skill and one day tour with his own orchestra performing for the world.
that's pretty strong, dude.
Yeah. I mean, if we
My man
can
has goals, dude.
what's that?
My man has goals.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not a horrible song at all. It's very catchy, very jazzy like music. You know.
Dun 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 into the night.
So if you're listening, Seth Alderman, your music is being played all over the world, especially in Europe and across the United States.
Right now,
Right now, as we speak.
it's been being played in Middle Georgia.
So no matter what we think, your music is
I
still
like
being
it,
played
because
over the
I'm a
air.
musician, and that's some hard shit you're doing no matter what.
Yeah. So I mean, like one time, there was a guy that I used to know, and I brought him as another host for another show at the BRN, and the guy was doing great voiceover work, right? And so I had him play one of his musics on the main show, right? And
Yeah.
maybe that wasn't the right format for him, but in the end, he got really, really butthurt. You know what I mean? Like he quit the entire job, the entire gig. You know what I mean? But now he's touring all over the place. So what I'm getting at is that it's not a bad song. It's not horrible, but it's very catchy, very jazzy, and maybe we could.
Into the night.
Yeah, maybe we could use it for something else, like an intro or something like that. I don't know. So, so what was you guys' first reaction on that?
At first, I kind of giggled.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, man, it sounded really beachy, but then I recognized the song and was like, all right, let me hear it.
Then you got it.
Well, I wanted to hear his version.
Right.
Like,
So
I still don't get it, but
all right, so there you go. Our first sort of intro of playing.
submission.
Yeah, submission. I don't know what we're gonna call that particular segment, but
Trying to be nice.
trying to be nice. So the Saudi Air Force member who killed 3 at U.S. Remember that guy that over in was it Jacksonville? I think, right? Was it
Yeah.
Jacksonville?
was it Jacksonville?
Pensacola.
Was it
It was
Pensacola?
Pensacola.
Okay. The naval base it said had watched mass shooting videos, but he was also linked to Al Qaeda, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he was all kind. He had all kind of terrorist ties
Yeah.
and man, crazy. And then like they found shit on his phone before he even got over here of like conversations with people over there and stuff.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, he was legit.
Yeah.
Okay, tied.
Because I remember that story, and they were trying to hack into his phone so they can get all the information they needed in order to get evidence against him. You know what I mean?
That's what set me off on this story, man. When I heard, for one, like the FBI finally, like, when did that shooting happen, Bull?
That was probably about, I don't know, last December, I think.
Yeah, so we're talking like, man, 5 months into it.
Investigators
And-
believe
Hold on.
carried it out. Law enforcement officials tell NBC News in the past week, the shooter, Mohammed Saeed al-Shamrani, a Saudi national, invited 3 other Saudis to his home for dinner where he showed them videos of mass shootings. Officials say he regularly socialized with the 3.
Now, this guy, was he, I know that says he's a Saudi national, but was he actually like an American too? Or just?
I think he was going to school like on the base.
Oh, okay, so he was never American at all.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I don't think so.
Training in our military, so
But after
Yeah,
a
he
recent
was like some kind of training or like going to school like on the base.
Oh, okay.
trip to Saudi Arabia, he returned more pious and was no longer interested in hanging out with them. Officials do not believe they were involved and say al-Shamrani acted alone. Those same officials confirm the handgun used in Friday's attack was legally purchased from a gun dealer in Pensacola, typically illegal for a non-citizen, but al-Shamrani exploited a loophole that allowed him to buy it because he has a hunting license.
So you have a hunting license, and you're allowed to buy a gun that you're going to commit mass murder with.
Well, no, he went and bought a pistol, man. Let's fucking get it straight here.
But still, you're still committing mass murder, though.
It doesn't matter. He didn't go buy an AR-15.
Doesn't matter what the gun is.
He didn't
still.
buy an AR-15. He just went and bought a fucking Glock.
Yeah,
that's a lot harder to tell, man. But because you have a hunting license, you can get it.
He ain't getting no AK with no silencer on it. And just shoot up his spot. He got a fucking gun. He just got a loophole, got a gun. That's all. That's the headline out of it.
I mean, on the black market, I guess it's pretty easy if you know somebody.
No, this guy went to a thing and got it.
He got a gun regardless.
So, what do you mean, like a gun show?
No, he went to a shop, and because you have your hunting license, that means you've already been cleared, basically.
Oh, like your concealment license?
No, well, it's kind of the same shit, but not
Okay.
But because you have your hunting license, you don't have to have a 3-day wait,
Officials are not confirming this as an act of terrorism, but believe a social media post declaring America's love for Israel and hatred for Islam was written by al-Shamrani. Sources tell NBC after the attack, a number of al-Shamrani.
This is old shit, man.
Well, that's what pulled up on the article.
The guy ended up getting shot and fucking killed during this whole thing. So they wanted to get into his iPhone, and Apple would not give the FBI the fucking code to his phone based on some privacy bullshit, basically.
I remember that, yeah. They weren't allowing them to unlock the phone so they can get all the text messages and the phone calls.
Ahead of that story, they finally unlocked that shit themselves. Without their help.
Now, here's
5 months, but then they found out it took them 5 months, but then they found out all this real shit. Like he was fucking, tied to this and that.
Now here's my.
If Apple would have just been fucking cool and been like, this guy's a terrorist. Obviously, he killed a bunch of people.
Now
his rights do not longer exist, so we'll give you the code to his phone.
So even with a court order, they couldn't sit there and get the.
No, Apple said no. They fucking fought it. It was they're like, it's a privacy contract thing. We're not giving it to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they wouldn't give it to him just even with a court order.
No, it didn't matter. It was man, their fucking lawyers were like, this is some privacy fucking shit. I don't care if he's a terrorist or whatever. It was
so if they even in a court of law, if they said, hey, look, this is evidence, A, and we need to get in there because we're going to prosecute, or I don't know if you could prosecute the dead, but, we need to get in there for evidence. I mean, okay, so here's my question. If the guy is dead, right?
Yeah.
Then, what would be the whole, I guess, quickness to get into his phone? Because you can't sit there and put a dead guy on trial.
No, it was to see when was there more shit coming?
Plans, other shit going on.
Yeah. Who else was he talking to?
Right.
Man, what was the next step after this?
But because when you do that, I mean, I don't know. I it's so crazy.
If a motherfucker kills 3 people, dude, and then gets killed, but he still killed 3 people, I think you're allowed to get into his shit.
But then also that. But don't you?
He has ties to some.
But don't you? But don't you think that they could easily be already hacked into his phone way before now?
No, because they didn't suspect him, man. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got away with what he did. They didn't think that guy really wasn't on their fucking radar. That was the whole thing.
Off the radar.
Right, but what I'm saying is after the whole shooting happened, right, and they wanted to get into his phone, okay, don't you think before, when Apple said, hey, look, we're not letting you get into his phone, we're not giving you the password, all that jazz, right?
It's taken the FBI since then until fucking this past week to crack that fucking phone to get into that shit.
So it's taken what, 5 months to crack that code?
Yeah. When Apple could have been like, oh, his code is fucking, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, man, here, get into his phone. Like,
all right. So, I mean, I get it. I mean, you need to sort of stack up the evidence and stuff like that. But I think they could have done a quicker job than, what, I mean, listen, it's the government has vast amount of technology, more than what we know.
No, they were working on that shit, dude. Like that was the whole thing when they interviewed the guy. They're like, dude, we were trying to crack this fucking phone this whole goddamn time. Like we had motherfuckers that were like spent 5 months when they could have been doing something else on cracking this asshole's phone, when Apple could have just been like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. There it is.
So I wonder what they found on the phone once they cracked it.
Oh, he was talking to like people over in like the Middle East and like planning shit and like talking to like motherfuckers that were like real. And
so he sort of, I mean, obviously he had all this stuff planned way before now. In December.
And just the previous people that he was talking to up until then were all bad motherfuckers. And the dude was bad, but like nobody caught it. But like they could have found this shit out fucking 2 weeks after the guy killed him if they would have just been cool and helped him out. Like,
I guess that would be a good enough cause for iPhone to say, or Macintosh to say, hey, look, you know what? There's an issue. We need to solve it, and we need to get things ready to go and help out the government to do this. But then also
they went the way of, oh, it's your privacy, blah 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 kind of thing.
But
no matter what, the privacy thing matters. That they were trying to like prove a point, saying that they were like, oh, well, once we say okay to this, anybody can like get into your phone. Like,
okay,
nah, dude, this motherfucker's not a fucking terrorist. Like,
okay, but I see that point, because with phones today, like a guy at my work, he showed me his phone that was like $1,200, right, for the phone, and it had like three or four cameras on it. You know what I mean? So what I'm getting at is that I could see that if these people were complacent in order to give governments access to the phones, okay, then what happens is now, if they do that, then the government can hack into any other phone. Because, I mean, think of it. When you download apps,
you're reading way too much into this, man.
Well, no. I listen. It might seem like a conspiracy theory, but let me spit this out, okay? If you think about it, right? When you download apps, okay, what is the first thing they ask you? Let me have access to your camera and your microphone, right?
Yeah.
And your photos, okay? So what's to say that when you download these apps, that these apps, these companies that you have no idea who they are.
The government's not interested in fucking however many million people are in the United States. They're only interested in motherfuckers that are either on trial already or they're investigating.
But that you know of. Okay, let's
Tom Brady practice here. See how
now Jazz just sort of turned it up because I think Jazz is sort of getting bored with it. But let me just switch the tides here. Now with all this DNA testing kits that we have, right? Like these where you can find your tree and find out where you come from, okay?
Yeah, those things.
Okay, and I'm not trying to like be Rush Limbaugh or another bullshit like that. What I'm saying is, I don't know. It's sort of weird by talking about this because, Mark, you are the biggest conspiracy theorist guy that I know. Okay.
Well, I'm not down with those with that 23andMe DNA shit neither.
But that's the same thing though, because I sort of
not allowing somebody access to your phone is not your fucking DNA, dude.
But still though, if you allow an app that you have no idea who created it, right, access to your photos, your camera, your mic, they can sit there and log on to your shit and look at what you're doing 24/7. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference?
I
guess Jazz left. I guess he was done with it.
That's awesome.
I don't know, man. I guess he gets turned off with fucking conspiracy theory stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of it is, man, but mainly the only thing.
But that's what I'm saying is,
I brought this shit up.
Is how do you? But that's what I'm saying. How do you being the biggest conspiracy theorist person that I know, and then other people get turned off about it?
Because they're gonna write. Well, I don't know about that, man. Well, because fucking man.
But you're the biggest one that I know of. Like you,
but not all conspiracy theories are fucking like legit, you know, like.
But you're sort of
picking on my conspiracies.
You're saying, hey, look, I'm a conspiracy theory guy, but then all of a sudden it's like when we talk about it, it's like, well, no, it's not correct, it's not real.
Well, because some of it's shit, like, man.
So what is a double-edged sword here? You know, it's like the guys who does the flat Earth.
I'm an aliens and like Bigfoot, like conspiracy person.
But it's the same thing, though. The principle hasn't changed.
What do you mean?
The principle is still the same. If you're a conspiracy theorist, whether it's dealing with aliens, government, flat Earth, the whole 9 yards, right? It's still the same, no matter what.
Well, I mean, I'm into certain conspiracies, but I don't think the Earth is flat. Like, I don't agree with like all conspiracies. Like,
yeah, but some people still do.
Well, I know that, but that's ridiculous. Like,
well, I think it is too, because some people say that, NASA has sort of contrived and sort of, edited these photos to where, it looks like the Earth is round, but it's actually flat. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not buying that.
So, and I don't buy that either. I think they're nuts, because I've talked to a couple of people, like the one guy in Naples that I've talked to a while back was, the same way. You know what I mean? But I don't understand why Jazz, signs off, because we talk about this stuff.
Oh, because we were beating a dead horse, man. Like,
no, but we weren't talking about the COVID-19 thing.
No, we were just beating that dead horse.
We were talking about about what's happening with this particular story, and I don't understand how you.
No, because there's nothing going on. That's the whole thing. There's nothing going on with this story. Like, the only reason why I brought it up was just because fucking Apple. Listen, man, they're gonna make rules where, like, all right, if you're a fucking terrorist or if you've committed a murder, we're gonna be able to fucking access your shit. And Apple will say, okay, we're not going to give it out unless you're a fucking terrorist or a fucking, like, you like did a murder. Like,
yeah, and I agree with that.
Hold that up. So, like, that's it. That's
right.
That was the only reason why.
I agree with that. I think that if something happens like this, then yes, Apple should have sort of the option to do that. But as a separate business, I think also Apple has the choice to decide that.
Yeah, I mean that's what they did, but like
but you shouldn't force somebody to do it just because the government wants you to do it.
It'd be one thing if they were doing it, say, on like that video of the two white guys killing the black guy up in Georgia.
Yeah.
And like they were like, oh no, fucking, we're not gonna do that, but that's all controversial, and shit. But like the terrorism thing, like, man, that could have cost like.
Right. That could have saved lives. I mean, but I don't know why Jazz signed off just because of the fact that we're talking about conspiracy theory.
I think he just did it because it's funny, because it was almost time to go anyway.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's kind of rude, but all right.
I think it's kind of funny.
But I mean, it's funny too. But I guess we can switch gears and go to Tom Brady. I mean, that's cool too.
Well, I mean, man, we only got a couple minutes, dude. So look, man, I'm thinking about these stickers, man.
So here's the deal. I spoke with my digital artist, right? And she's gonna come up with some ideas, okay? And I wrote it down, I penciled it in, but I want you guys, your ideas too, okay?
Okay, well, I'm telling you, this is my idea.
No. I want it on paper, okay? I want it physically on paper so I can show her the ideas, okay? And that way she can see it. That way she can draw it up. You know what I mean? Right. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to have her draw up 3 different sketches, okay? And then once those 3 different sketches is good to go, right? I'll present them to you guys, and then we'll decide on what sketch is better than the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to draw something up. And I don't care if it's the best artistry or the worst artistry. It doesn't matter to me. But I want you guys to draw it up, and I want to see it. That way I can present it to her. And so that way we can come up with an idea. Because it's easy to print stickers. I could do it here. You know what I mean? I want to get all the information that I can because, like I said, I had these guys like Matt Major from New York, right? He printed me out these guys. I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not, but it's on the camera right now. But that was from the Bald Bull days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And no, I mean I've had stickers made for my helmets and shit and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
but
I just like the idea of like a fucking black like wine bottle looking bottle with a white label with like the black bullhead with like maybe two little or two beer mugs.
Right. And that's
hanging off antlers where it's just black and white. Maybe it's got red eyes, but like something you can put like on your helmet or like your back corner of your window. Like.
Right. And that's what I described to my digital artist to do. I sort of doodled, in crayon, what to do and stuff like that. But I want to get you guys' input too, because you guys are just as much as here's the deal. When we started the show, I was quote unquote the host like I've always been. I'm not saying I'm the best host in the world, but you guys are like the main contributors to the show, okay? And you guys are the ones that I depend on. Like for example, right? You and I were talking earlier via text about the whole COVID talk from last week's show, right? And I'm not I don't want to start an argument because you and I like I've always depended on you during the show as sort of my conscience during the show, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So, I sort of lean towards you and say, hey, look, here's my idea. What do you think, for the show? You know what I mean? Because as me doing the hosting part, I'm sort of driving the ship and trying to make this whole thing funny, but then I sort of lean on you because you're sort of like my conscience of the show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so having said that, we talk about it and, I don't want to sound like a dick via text, but like when we're talking during the text, I'm sort of like, hey, look, I wasn't trying to sound like a dick talking about the COVID-19, but I did it because of content on the show. And that's what we need. We need content on the show.
I get the content thing. It just went about
because I don't care about the whole COVID-19 thing. I could care less about it because I think it's all a bunch of
but we were trying to break it off and you kept fucking digging.
Well,
so
because that's the thing though. This show is geared on what's news today, and that's what we've always geared the show with. We've always
Yeah, but if you see it's not really if you see it's not really getting traction, then man.
I'm drinking a lot right now, so I'm sort of I'm tipsy right now. I've had about 4 or 5 glasses worth of Bacardi, like tall glasses. So, the thing is that listen, you guys are you and Jazz, like when we first started the show, you and Jazz has always been a main key part of this show. Chewy Rocks has been a sort of an executive producer of the show. And she has always been a part of the show, even when the USF days. You know what I mean? And, but you guys are my go-to guys for pretty much, like, Mark, when we did the BRN, right? You are sort of my go-to guy because I could trust you to say, hey, look, this is my idea. Like you're sort of like my Manson, if that makes sense. Okay? So you would be the guy that like, hey, look, here's my idea. What do you think? You know what I mean? And I'm being truthfully honest with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't really talk about this on the air. You know what I mean? And I think that with this show progressing, and because we've got 111 subscribers right now, and we went from like 0 when we first started this like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, right? And we're at 111 subscribers right now, and so I'm trying to find ways to make this show money, and I'm trying to find ways to progress so that way you guys can get paid. I can get paid. We can get better equipment. I've got all the tech stuff worked out, and that way I can build the studio, and that way we can have, like, you guys come to the studio, and we could do it at a central location to where all this stuff is working and progressing. You know what I mean? But, I sort of depend on you guys during the show because you guys are sort of like, you're my boys. You're my guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
So what are you saying?
What's that?
So what are you saying?
Well, what I'm saying is, like, when we talk about stuff like the COVID-19, in all reality, I could give a shit about COVID-19. But in content-wise, it's good for conversation because in radio terms, it brings out people to talk about it. And that's what we need.
I totally get what you're trying to do. But, like, you came off like a fucking, like, way too, man.
Too strong?
Yeah, and too, like, man.
Well, I think I lost you guys, and it's sort of hard to understand because I was trying to go for a different realm. You know what I mean? And because you being a very, conspiracy theorist type of guy, I would hope that you would sort of ride the train with me. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I mean, I got a bunch of friends who are fucking nurses and shit, and, like, Jazz's mom's a fucking nurse having to deal with this shit right now, like, 24 hours a day.
Right, and don't get me wrong, it's a terrible, virus. It's a terrible time.
Some of the stuff about it, where it come from, whatever, this and that, but, like,
But in all reality,
fucking...
it doesn't, it doesn't has no effect on me personally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I applaud for the people who have sort of, like today, there was a guy that I met today at my job, right? And the guy was like,
dude?
What's that?
You getting ready to yak, man?
No. I had a belch lined up there. But I had a guy today that told me that he lost his job during this whole thing because of the fact that because of the whole COVID-19. I felt bad for the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know a bunch of bartenders that aren't working right now. Like,
and like with the whole thing with the COVID thing, I think with people raising a uproar about the whole we should open up gyms, and that's the whole big thing about, hey, look, let's open up gyms like right now. Who gives a fuck about opening up gyms? You know what I mean? Let's start opening up businesses. Let's start getting back to normal. But nevertheless, I depend on you guys for content. I depend on you guys for putting ideas out there. I depend on you guys for the show, So, leaving the show and stuff like that is sort of like, hey, I understand that you guys got things to do, you got your own life, and I appreciate that. But also, too, it's sort of like, hey, that's sort of, a slap in the face, if that makes sense.
I think you're reading too much into it, though, man. We already talked about, man, we were off air about, like, having a fucking no-rant show, basically.
No, and I'm not trying to rant or nothing like that, but I'm just saying that how much I depend on you guys.
We started ranting with the fucking Apple shit.
All right, so let me ask you this then. What do you think of the Tom Brady practicing at a local high school?
I think it's great. I'm excited about it.
So, all right, so what do you think about Tom Brady being with the Bucs?
I mean, it's cool, man.
Do you think that we're going to go to a Super Bowl?
Maybe. That'd be cool if we did the first year, but
okay,
you never know.
I mean, I would love to see a Bucs go to the Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
First year, yeah. Like we're definitely going to the playoffs this year, so.
Like when the Bucs went to the Super Bowl the first time, I was going crazy. You know what I mean? Like I was.
Yeah.
Because I'm an old Bucs fan. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can pull up the story. So the story that you guys sent me was Tom Brady Bucs players take the field at Berkeley Prep with exclusive photos. Now, here's the thing. Do you think the whole publicity is helping Tom Brady? Or is it
not hurting?
Not hurting? I mean,
hell no.
Do you think that they're expecting too much at him?
I mean, he's the GOAT, dude. So, I mean, You gotta expect. I mean,
the reason why I asked is because
you're expecting fucking Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like,
the reason why I asked because you and Jazz are sort of like sports information central. You know what I mean? And I used to play sports in high school, but I was never into like all the stats like you guys are. You know what I'm saying? And you guys,
Tom Brady coming to your fucking team is, and especially if he's bringing Gronk and then like everybody else we got, like, yeah, you pretty much loaded your team. Like.
Right. So Tampa, about 20 minutes after sunrise, just before 7 a.m. Tuesday, the luxury vehicles began rolling past the guarded entrance at Berkeley Preparatory School. Now, where is Berkeley at?
It's right there on Himes. Like right across from that park, the big park there by the Buck Stadium.
Oh, is that right off of North Boulevard?
No, it's on Himes. Right? What'd I say? You fucking really?
No, because there's one off of Himes in North Boulevard, right across from ACC. You know what I'm talking about? Or Cypress?
Oh, you're fucking crazy, dude.
No, there's one right off of Cypress and North Boulevard. I can't remember what the name is. But about 20 minutes after sunrise, just before 7 a.m. Tuesday, the luxury vehicles began the rolling past the guarded entrance at Berkeley Prep School. The Tesla coupe followed by a Porsche and a Ford truck or two parked near the artificial turf football field, tucked away in a well-secluded enclave of the sprawling campus. That's where Tom Brady and about 8 of his Tampa Bay Buccaneers teammates began a 2-hour throwing session. Brady wasn't the only quarterback. Backups Blaine Gabbert and Ryan Griffin were there. But Brady was the only player wearing a bright orange practice jersey over shoulder pads with his Bucks helmet.
Yeah, they had their own little practice.
Right. Now here's the thing. I know Tom Brady is a big deal in the Bucks community and the Tampa Bay community, but to me, not being as sort of, I guess, savvy as what you guys are, to me it sounds like they're putting all their eggs in one basket.
Well, he's the fucking quarterback, dude.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, okay, let's go back to like
They're not. They also loaded up all the receivers that we got, and then and the fucking linemen that we got to like protect him. Like,
I mean, is that sort of like the end all be all with Tom Brady?
Well, I mean, he's the fucking quarterback, dude. He's the one that like runs the actual team, and he's the quarterback that's won Super Bowl.
No, I know that, but I mean, to me, it sounds like they're counting on him to get the Bucs to the Super Bowl. And not sort of concentrating on, the other sort of players of the team. You know what I mean?
I think you're talking out your ass.
You think so?
They drafted a whole bunch of people. They've traded for people. Gronk's coming. Like, it's not just going to be him. Like,
okay. But that's what it sounds like. Because all you hear on the news is just Tom Brady.
I mean, they're
Tom
building
Brady
it around him. I mean, don't get it fucking wrong. Like, man, he's the goddamn quarterback.
Right.
They're gonna get him everybody that he needs to catch balls, and that's why he was there practicing with those guys. Like, those were all. Everybody that was there was like his fucking main receivers. So like, all right, I'm gonna start throwing a ball with you. Like,
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm glad that Tom Brady's with the Bucs. I mean, I'm glad that they have,
like, it's not going to be like a 1-year thing, man. Right. He signed for, I think, 2 years. So, like, all right, and if you do good and you start feeling good and you want to play one more year, like, yeah, why not? Like,
and see, that's the thing, because when I played football, I was never in the whole stats and the whole, bullshit like that. I was all into, like, just doing something for extra practice. You know what I mean? It's for extra physical activity. Like, you guys, I'm trying to comprehend you guys' mentality. You know what I mean? Because you guys, like you and like Big Nasty and Jazz, sort of, and that's why I love all you guys, is because you guys look at it at a whole different perspective than what I look at it. You know what I mean? You guys look at it as sort of this, like, Tom Brady is like this whole another level of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look at him compared to fucking Winston, dude. I mean, you ain't got to be a fucking sports guy to be like, all right, I got Tom Brady's record, Jameis Winston's record.
And see that's what I'm saying. You guys know the stats of this guy, and I have no idea.
Well, I mean, you've been in Tampa long enough to see how bad fucking the Bucs were with him. Like, it's gonna be.
Yes, but I don't know the stats.
Without any kind of sports shit, it's gonna be better than like what it is.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know stats. I mean, the one thing I can comment on is like what I see is like when they don't go to the Super Bowl, they want to change, head coaches. They want to fire like Gruden when he didn't go to the Super Bowl the next year. You know what I'm saying? And now Gruden is being a televised commentator.
I mean, some of this was just Brady wanted to change. He's like, "Fuck it, I want to retire in Tampa, so I'm gonna come play for you guys for a couple of years and set up shop and hang out." So like, cool. Like,
I mean, it's great that Tom Brady is here. I mean, if they bring Tom Brady to the Super Bowl, I mean that's even more. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. To me, the stats doesn't really go with me. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Lightning, right? When I see the Lightning, I'm like, I'm watching the games, I'm watching the playoffs. I want them to do good, but I don't look at the stats. You know what I mean? I just look at.
I mean, I don't pay like that. Like, I don't know everybody's averages and shit and stuff. Like, I just know who's like a decent player and who's not. So. Yeah,
I don't know either. I just sort of, they're all relative to me and they're all good players to me. So I do want to thank you, Mark the bartender, for hanging out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think Jazz too, man. He had to work. Jazz. He had to work early, like tomorrow morning too.
So Jazz, I hope you don't take it personally. It's nothing against, it's all good. So, thank you so much for you guys for joining in. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to the show.
I'm gonna go do my fucking physical therapy before I go to bed, man. Yeah, I gotta go to my shit tomorrow. So.
We'll join you in about 2 weeks. We'll be live in the studio, right?
Should be done by then. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see you in about 2 weeks. We'll be live from the bar. Bull and the Bartender Show. Don't forget, May 31st, there'll be a new show, Gut Check with Belly. Check that out soon, live. So we'll see you next week on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, man. Have a good night, dude.
All right, see you.
Now I think about a constant leader. If they made a machine that could register how cold my heart was off the meter. Now that time is gone, I remember her favorite song. In the spot in the middle of her back, she would laugh when I put my fingers on. Until the end of everything, and I'm gone and buried. You the only one I ever loved like this, and baby, I hope you hear me. You searching, you gon' find. Deep down, you know you mine. I fight to my very last breath if I mean that I get just one more time. Just give me one more time. I'll swim through the high tide. I'll stand on the front lines. I'll give it all just to see your face and tell you it's alright to hold you for one night. Just give me one more time. I'm still alive. I still feel you. So many words I never told you. I'm still alive, I still feel you. So many words I never told you. I'm still alive, I still feel you. So many words I never told you. I'm still alive.